Hey Ryan, it's Michael and
Matt
from Bullion Now, bullionnow.com.au, bringing you all the good stuff from right here in Melbourne.
in Australia. For our international viewers.
That's right. That's
What
right,
do we
not
got?
Melbourne, USA. We're in Melbourne, Australia.
What are we doing?
We are unboxing. I'm just wondering, they've only given us one knife, so does that
That's you.
mean...
That's you.
we're not going to fight over it.
Yeah, no, I don't play that game.
All right. Do you know what's in here?
I have a suspicion based on what I've been told prior to walking in, but stranger things have happened, you know.
What do you think of it? Because we've actually seen this. We had a sneak peek.
Well, is this the one, if I'm not mistaken, that we saw in the live stream?
This is the one we did on the live stream.
Okay, I love it, and I love it conceptually. I think the execution was slightly lacking.
Yeah, it fell over.
Yeah, I think, but now that you've got it out, well, hang on, it's a box in a box, sorry.
Come on, mate. You've been in unboxing before.
Not nearly to this extent. Oh, they're from Scottsdale, I didn't know
They
that.
are, which is why I'm so impressed with the coin, because Scottsdale do a brilliant job,
Yep.
and B, why I'm so disappointed with the obverse of the coin.
Yeah.
Because I think, like you were halfway through saying,
Yep.
they kind of just missed the punch on that one, didn't
Yep. This is a two-man job.
they? Yeah, it looks like
What
it.
is this? More packaging.
Yeah, that's
That's quite satisfying, actually. The way they've
with
done
or without glove.
it. Do you want to cause chaos?
We can have a bet each way. I'll go with a glove, you go without a glove.
Sure, yeah. And if it damages the coin,
Okay,
it'll
should
be
we...
my personal one. It'll be the...
We should explain why this discussion's going on. So these coins, these are called the ANUBIS coin, and we'll have a good look at them in a second. But as you can tell from just the photo shot that we've got there, they are antiqued. So Matt has... Actually, give us the spiel, Matt, on the old antiqued.
So an antiqued coin, as the name suggests, gives an antiqued finish. So it looks like it's been around the block, which is particularly suitable. I like when they do it on a subject matter that is ancient, and it creates that sense of... If you told me, and I was a novice with coins, if you said these are ancient Egyptian coins, you could almost believe it. Yeah. So the idea that if you're interested in history and you want something modern but relating to an old-timey subject matter, these sort of things tick that box for me in a big way. It's
almost like you see advertised pre-stressed. They do pre-stressed guitars and things like that. One of the guys.
Pre-ripped jeans.
Yeah, that type of thing. So it's almost like they've been pre-aged.
Yeah,
so
but they do it in a way that, and occasionally I don't think we'll have any issues with these, but when I did manage the coin shops back in the day, occasionally I'd get people that would call up and they'd say, oh, this coin looks slightly different from the marketing image. And I'd say, yeah, that is the whole idea. The antiquing is not always entirely uniform. Like they get them to a point where each coin is unique in that sense.
And that's exactly right. It's like
a
fingerprint. No one is exactly unique, or a snowflake.
Yep.
Particularly on the rim there. So why were we saying, why am I handling it with a glove and I'm suggesting that you don't?
Yeah, so these coins, antique coins in particular, the way that they do them, they don't have the proof-like surfaces, so the mirror-type finish that you get. The great example of that was the Darth Vader coins.
Oh.
If you even looked at that without a glove on, you'd end up somehow putting something on it, and then off you go. It'll never be the same.
That was shocking, wasn't it? I mean, I love the subject matter, but man.
Yeah, real Dark Lord type behaviour. But, so for example, if I do handle this, you'll see that as I handle it, it's not, I'm not leaving a big fingerprint around the rim, because the way they've finished it is such that it's already been weathered. So that type of thing is not nearly as much of an issue. That's not to say eat a bag of Doritos and handle your antique coin collection.
That's right.
So still take care when handling them and have clean hands and things like that.
And don't grab the face. You probably could.
You could if you dropped it and it was going to hit the ground, you can grab it. But I still steer clear of, and I think it's just a force of habit to not touch the face of any of my coins. Yeah. But the rim, particularly on these, that's almost made for holding.
I'd actually go the opposite. I was just going to say, with these I'd almost be, and it's why I grabbed the glove, because this is almost a surface in itself, like a face in itself.
Absolutely, it is.
So, if I'm not going to touch the face, I wouldn't touch the rim in this. Whereas on a thin coin, like you've got far less surface area to actually leave the print on.
Yeah, this is true.
But horses for courses, I can absolutely see your argument on it. And in fact, I'm going to lead you to a statement that I want you to make. There's a fairly major organisation out there that suggests they don't use gloves handling pretty much any coin, isn't there?
That's right. I've forgotten their name. How have I forgotten their name? One of the largest auction houses in the world.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
I can't remember either.
They're huge.
That's why I was leading you to it.
Baldwin's, maybe.
Yeah,
one of the huge ones over in the UK or maybe in the US. And they never use gloves because you lose a degree of the sensitivity and your, I guess, ultimately your spatial awareness when you're holding something if you have gloves on. And I always thought that was a bit of a myth until I did that once. I grabbed a coin with gloves on and I dropped it and I thought, what's happened there? Yeah. But I just didn't have that same sense of feel and space.
Well, if you don't believe what we're saying, just go back to the start of the video and you'll see me struggling to get the coin out of here because I've got a glove on, whereas Matt just went, poink, have a look at this. So it's because he had the dexterity and the grip of his fingers.
Yep.
This was meant to be about a coin, not an educational video.
And yes, it's about ANUBIS, so an ancient Egyptian god, the god of death, I believe.
Man's done his research.
Oh, he has. Oh, that's just general awareness, you know. You always got to know a little bit.
Yeah, you do.
Are they going to? I wonder if we'll see others like Ra. Is this a series or is this a one-off?
As far as I'm aware, it's not part of a series.
Okay.
But I think it's been that popular that it wouldn't shock me if it became a series.
Yeah, particularly with that type of finishing.
Yeah.
Something a bit.
Well, there's nothing else. I don't know of any. You might correct me here. I don't know of anything else like this. I mean, have a look at the coin. It's a 5 ounce. We've not even given the specs on this.
Oh yeah, we should probably give a bit of information on this.
So it's a 5 ounce antiqued round or coin, whichever you want to call it. To use a face this size means that you get this incredibly chunky coin. I often rave on about the 2 ounce coin, how it's got that chunk to it. This takes it to the next extreme because they've still used kind of a 1 ounce size face.
Yep.
But it's got 5 ounces in it, so it's really it's. I said on the live stream, it's almost got 3 sides. This coin, you've got the obverse and the reverse, but you've also got the rim, which is like really stands out on this.
A planchet in and of itself.
And I think we both agree that the reverse we quite like.
Yes, totally. I love that. Obviously, the subject matter, you know. So much so that I'm marrying an Egyptian woman.
I'm not sure I'd express it that way to your future wife. She doesn't watch these, does she?
No, not really her bag. But yeah, I think it's great. And there is actually a bit of a reference to. I didn't notice it originally when we opened these. There is a bit of a reference to hieroglyphics.
Yes.
Up here.
Yes.
You've got the little characters there. You might get a better shot of that in the extra footage, Connor. But I think it's really cool. I like that. It's the head of a jackal. Is the god there, and I think it's really interesting. Obviously, it ties in with ancient Egyptian mythology and all that kind of stuff. I think that kind of thing is fascinating, and particularly for collectors. You know, if you have an interest in ancient coins or anything like that, it's very easy. There's like 1 degree of separation for me to get excited by something, as you can tell.
But it's almost like replica cars sort of thing, or modernised old cars.
Yep.
You're getting an ancient coin that looks new.
Exactly, yeah.
Still being a little stressed, but it looks new.
Yep.
We need to talk about the elephant in the room.
Yes, let's hit
the obverse.
Meh.
What are your thoughts?
Meh. three letters. So it is technically a coin then, as opposed to a round. It does have a face value.
It does. You're right.
It's issued under a government authority, but yeah, I would have thought that you may be best off just doing this as a round and committing fully to the subject matter and doing another interesting, Egyptian themed design.
But they've done. The more I look at it, actually, the more I think I'm giving it too much of a hard time. Because if you get it in the right light, I think the problem is they haven't struck it well enough, so deep enough. Because if you get it in the right light, you actually got because it's the coat of arms of Chad, I'm assuming.
Yep.
So it's actually got quite a lot of detail there. It's just because of the
does.
antiquing, the detail disappears because they haven't struck it deep enough.
It almost looks laser engraved. It looks like they've barely even struck it.
Yeah, maybe it is. You might be right.
But that was the one weak point on this release, I thought.
Yeah, it's not as bad as I originally thought. Like I said, I just think
I
it's
did
not.
frame it. I was pretty passionate at the outset, so I probably didn't give you a lot of runway to have a proper objective take on it.
But I don't mind. I actually don't mind it as much as I didn't think I liked it before. I actually don't. I've upgraded to a don't mind rather than a don't like. But I would have liked to have seen a harder or a more stark impression of it because it disappears too much in the antiquing.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment.
Wow, so much for a product highlight. I think this is called an education and product dissection.
Exactly. It's a product observation.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I like about these things, or any of these videos we do. And this sounds like Michael's put me up to it. But I like that we're allowed to
I actually don't know where he's going with this.
I like that we're allowed to be objective with these things.
Oh, yeah.
I think it would be very difficult if you said, hey, Matt, you need to pretend this is the greatest thing you've ever seen in your life. I'm too much like an open book. It'd be too obvious if I was winding you up. But
one of the reasons why this is one of the rare times where Matt's actually seen the coin prior to us unboxing. Usually one of us, usually Connor, grabs Matt and drags him in and goes, unbox this, because we know that you're very facially expressive when you say something and you can't hide the wow or the grief. What on earth were they smoking when they did this?
Pretty direct. What I see is what you get.
That's right. Excellent. Cool. Want to make any more comments or observations?
No, I do, despite it not being my favourite coin ever, I do hope that it becomes a series because I think the subject matter is really, really great. Yeah. And we'll see what happens.
And the style, because I don't think anyone else is doing 5-ounce coins like this.
Yep.
So, in summary, it's from Chad, I believe. ANUBIS coin, you'll see them on the web. We don't have a great deal of them. We got as many as we could lay our fingers on, but I think that was only, like we're talking in the hundreds, not the thousands.
Oh, okay.
They are a 5-ounce. They stamp them 4 9s or 3 9s? I believe it's 4 9s. No, they've only stamped them 3 9s, but I'll guarantee you if I XRF it, it's 4 9s. But yeah, so it's 5 ounces of silver. And that's all I can think.
I think that's it. I think you've summed it up nicely. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for inviting me over.
No worries. Grab them while you can. We'll talk again soon.
See ya.